Good afternoon, friends and traders. Welcome to Market Recap. I am Dan Hodgman. It is Tuesday, December 8th. December seems to be cruising right through. We are almost through this 2020. I don't even know what else to say other than that. We're making our way through. I hope you guys have all had a good day. I hope you guys had a nice weekend. Stocks were the mover today. Stocks continue this melt up, grind higher, just keeps wanting to go. Other markets were relatively quiet. Not a lot of movement in a lot of the markets today, but stocks, nonetheless, they keep going. Lots to pay attention to. I believe the U.S. just topped 15 million cases this year for coronavirus. Stimulus talks, they're back, they're going. Argument back and forth. I think it's $908 billion right now. Liabilities, are we going to cover that? Stimulus checks, are those going to come? There's so many different questions out there right now. And I just got the notification. It's official. S&P closes above 3,700 for the first time ever. Hopefully you guys were long. So today, I want you guys to go check out today's Coach's Playbook. If you haven't checked it out already, myself, Mick, John, and JD, the Dancing Bear, all sat down. We discussed this idea of stops, using them, not using them, thoughts around them, why to have them, how to use them, when to use them. I really thought it was a great little segment for all having of us all sit down and chat about it, because really, stops are such a difficult art form, whether you're trying to trail them, whether you're just trying to place them, where to place them. So often traders have this monetary idea in their head. Okay, I want to get in this trade. I like the fact that you're sitting there in the open. S&Ps are going higher. I want to be long, but all I can do is really risk $200. Well, that makes things difficult, right? You're thinking about you want to be long, but you can only risk 200. Okay, so I'm going to get in. I'm going to put a $200 stop, and maybe I got in on a pullback. But we all know these markets love to test levels multiple times, and you can get stopped out pretty quickly. $200, 4 points. S&Ps can knock that out pretty quickly, especially on a big moving day like we saw here today. And then you miss out on that big run. Maybe you're trying to catch shorts because, well, if it hit my stop, it's obviously wanting to turn around. So many things go on in our head when things like that happen. So go check that segment out. I think it's really great. Stops are important. If anything, it's that fail safe, right? The market, I've been trading all day. And that market just turned on me. I was hitting it out of the park, and then that psychology of, okay, well, I've had a great day. I'm up $1,200, and you know what? It's just going to keep going in my favor. I know that's going to happen. No questions about it. Not going to always be the case. That market will turn around, right? And the last thing we want to do is give up those big winning days. Maybe we're sitting in a nice winning trade and we're up $500, and that's a nice big winner for us. And then that market starts to turn. So those are just things that we want to be paying attention to. Always trading with stops, locking in some of those profits. So I digress, but go check it out. Let us know what you think. Always join us every Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. Central Time for the Coach's Playbook. Also, while I'm just talking about some of the stuff we're doing, if you haven't already done so, check out our three amigos. It's myself, Jack, and Michael Patak, founder of Top Step. We all sit down every week and we talk about the big three indices: Dow, S&P, Nasdaq. We give our opinions. I bring in some of my levels that I'm looking for the next week. We talk about market movement influences. And then we all kind of talk about some of the trades we took. We get a little bit more candid there with wins and losses and things that we're doing. So check that out as well. Let us know what you think. Today, like I mentioned, coronavirus tops 15 million in the United States, but we're not far from some sort of vaccine. How will that vaccine play out? That's going to be the big question. Right now, everyone's buying the rumor. Vaccine's coming, and when we might have this coronavirus under control within 6 months. We're going to buy that rumor. When the news comes out, maybe we'll see sell the news. But until then, the melt up keeps going. So coronavirus, that's our big talk right now. That's the big talk. Where did this vaccine? UK has approved. President Trump, I believe, just tweeted today that we're just weeks away from vaccines hitting the United States and getting out there for distribution. Hopefully that's the case. This vaccine works if you're going to take it. If you're even in line, I think I did a quiz the other day that said I'm 270 millionth in line for a vaccine. Anyhow, that's kind of what's going on right now. Stimulus talks are back going on. We got to continue to keep an eye on that stuff. And other than that, let's go ahead and take a look at these charts. See what we got going on here today. Some good opportunity across the board when you look at the equity markets. Everything else was relatively quiet. So we'll kind of skim through the quiet markets, looking at some of the opportunities we had there, and then we'll really dive into these equities. So as always, we start with our crude oil. Market opened up lower here this morning. John spoke. Equities open. So the initial open was relatively quiet. And John's talking to you guys right here at about 8 o'clock this morning. As soon as the equity open, market comes, checks overnight low, almost to the tick. And man, does this set up a great trade. We all know settlement price is right up here. 45.76. Does the market have a chance to get back up there? Hell yes, it does. Value area high of the day was 45.77. So market comes down, checking overnight low. This is where we as traders can start to look for an opportunity. Areas of importance: overnight high, overnight low, prior day high, prior day low. First four levels that I put on my chart after settlement price each and every day. I can't stress it enough. Market came down, checked that overnight low, just shy, but it gives us that opportunity. The low during regular trading hours right here at 45.16, and notice our overnight low, 45.14. Great opportunity. We approach. This is our chance to say, does this market go higher or lower? Well, I can get in on this trade pretty darn cheap. I can get in here relatively cheap, and I'm going to look to see if this market can go close the gap to settlement price. Does exactly that, and then fades out the rest of the day. We had one little move in the afternoon. Well, right around lunchtime, late morning, we had one little move. Market moved about 20 cents, and then from there went sideways. Next, let's go ahead and look at the S&P 500, which, like we said, new all-time record close above 3,700. And that was the move this morning, guys. It started to make the move pre-open. Market opened up. Initial move was higher. Okay. Good news. We're going to pay attention to that initial move higher. So this was just a reference area that I've been looking at, this 36.83 approximately area I've been looking at. I'm going to move that out of the way. Market moves higher, gives us our chance. Guys, this is our chance. Everyone, we saw the break. This market, you can't short this market. Gosh, it just wants to keep going. Gave us a break at 9 o'clock this morning, and it was off to the races. This is what we're looking for. We are looking for these points of weakness in a directional trade. This market has been directional over the last, 9 months. This has been a moving higher market, and that's exactly what it's been doing. We have to look for those opportunities. Where are those weak points? Where can I get in to keep my trade cheap and continue on with the direction of the move? This is where we're getting in. Down here, right around 36.80, let's just call it 83. If we can get in there, we can put our stop a little bit lower. Again, we can open things up because we have an idea of where this thing can go. First stop, settlement price, all the way up here at 36.93. Great, we can look there. If I'm getting in at 83, that's 7 points of profit I'm looking at. What's my risk? Well, hey, if I'm looking at 7 points in profit, at least 3.5 points of risk I can take, but I'm looking further. I'm loving the double value area high over the last couple days right here at 95. I like that. We have yesterday's point of control at 93. There's a lot telling me that this is a good area to look for some sort of target. That's giving us over 10 points in profit on one single trade. That allows us to open up our risk a little bit. Remember, each and every trade, risk and profit's going to be different. It cannot be stagnant. That didn't stop it. Market blew right through that 95 level and continued all the way up to 37.08. And we got a little sell-off here towards the end of the day. Next, let's go ahead and look at the Nasdaq. just like S&Ps. Nasdaq's making some nice, strong moves here today. And just like S&Ps, except this one was a little bit different. Market opened up, and it started to show a little bit of weakness. It really did. Buyers came in pretty quickly, though. We liked everything that else is happening. We see S&Ps going. We saw the Dow recovered pretty quickly. Dow took a little bit to get back above 30,000, but it sure did. And Nasdaq, as soon as sellers got exhausted here, buyers came in and did everything we wanted to see this thing do. Blew right through. Settlement price up here at 12,596. 12,596, blew right through there, which was kind of an area to look for with a little bit of a target because that was yesterday's value area high, just about 10 points apart. Didn't stop there. Momentum continued, making some pretty strong upside moves, 12,652. Next, let's go ahead and look at gold. Gold was relatively quiet here today. Tight range. The move happened pretty much right at 8 o'clock this morning. And from there, we just really kind of exhausted sideways. We just take a look at this value area today. Relatively tight. Kind of floated between 71 and 77. So we're looking at about $6, give or take, of a range. Pretty tight range, but still some opportunity if you can manage your risk in a range like that. And that's what's important. Recognizing when the ranges are relatively tight, keeping that risk relatively tight. For me, when the ranges get this tight in something like gold, I like to stay away. Tells me I don't do well in a market state like gold when it gets this tight because I have a really difficult time defining where I want that range to be. Obviously, in hindsight, we can look at value area high and low and get some ideas. Absolutely. But in real time, things get a little bit more difficult to really get an idea of where those highs and lows are. I would have probably been stuck looking at yesterday's value area high down here at 72. And once we broke above 72, that's where I'm thinking that buy opportunity is. See if we can catch that buy at 72. And we're only seeing about $4 if we're lucky in that move. And that's where things get a little tight for me. Next, let's go ahead and look at the currencies, and we'll get the heck on out of here. Starting with the euro. And, well, guys, I don't have a whole lot to say. Pretty chop all night into the open. 9 o'clock this morning. Quick break, back into chop. If you were short here, great opportunity to catch the short at yesterday's point of control. We catch that short, and maybe you caught that. To me, that was the move. Tough move to get in. We didn't really test it at all at this point of control during regular trading hours, but happens to be overnight high as well. And that was the opportunity. And if you missed that, it would have been a tough day to trade. Lastly, let's go ahead and look at the yen. I apologize. I thought I put my volume profiles on here for today. Just slap them on really quick, just so we can get a little bit of an idea. I swore I sat down and did them already this morning. Apparently not. All right, here we got a couple days on. All right, so similar to the euro, this market opened up, pushed a little bit higher, but really fell into chop. I mean, we can sit here, and if we can count the number of ticks that this market traded throughout the entire day, that to me says probably not great opportunity. But hey, we're moving into the overnight session. We started to kind of define a little bit of a downtrend channel here. Does that trend continue? Well, remember, we want to look over here at our daily just to get an idea of things. And the higher time frame is still saying we are trending higher, but the channel, we're staying relatively tight. So that's what we'll keep an eye on here. So in the overnight session, if you are trading, yes, short time frame here when we look at the 30-minute charts telling us we're trending lower, but the higher time frame saying trending higher. So if we're really in a higher trend time frame, these sell-offs are going to be opportunities for the long-term long. And so that's things that we want to be thinking about. Awesome. All right, guys, those are our markets here today. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Esteban, good to see you. hope you guys have all had a great day so far. Still a long week ahead of us, a lot of opportunity. I'm sure there's going to be some headlines to hit the blotter that's going to be worth our time, and maybe bring in some opportunity. We'll have to see how that goes. All right, as always, we're going to take a look at a couple fun things. I've really enjoyed this, the Tesla stock. Love watching it. Getting involved in that as much as I can. I hope you guys have been. Every chance I've gotten to do something with Tesla over the last, since we've been working home 9 months, it's been a great opportunity. And Tesla today just keeps going. $650 a share. Man, when's it going to stop, right? Unbelievable. VIX continues to slip. We are getting close to getting below 20. We're right at 20.7 right now. End of year, does volatility increase? Does it go lower? Do stocks continue higher? Do we see some crazy break like we saw on December 24th, 2018? Does something like that happen? Time will tell. I'm looking forward to seeing what we got ahead of us. Other than that, one exciting thing about Tesla that came out today, they will be moving everything from California to Texas. Seems to be a lot of businesses, people have been moving to Texas and getting out of California. Texas and Arizona, I believe, are on an extreme increase of former California residents. All right. And other than that, don't forget, tomorrow is Wednesday. We have Jolts at 9 a.m. Central Time. And then right after that, we've got the crude oil inventories at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Other than that, no major releases. We're going to have a 10-year auction note. That'll be at noon Central Time as well. So if you are trading treasuries and in the 10-year, keep an eye on that one. Other than that, as always, let's go ahead and take a look at things that happened on this date in history. We've had some good stuff. Obviously, yesterday was the anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. And so, one day later, where would it go? Here we go. One day later, there it is, 1941. I needed to get the terminology. United States declares war on Japan with only one vote against in Congress. Everyone else voted for it. And that was Janet Haskins. I believe that was her name. Janet Rankin, excuse me. Only one against it. And then, obviously, this is way in the past, but the Bears won the National Football championship. 73-0, the greatest margin in any football championship, NFL championship game. Obviously, that is not the same Bears that we have here today. And then lastly, in 1980, John Lennon was shot. So on that note, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign on out of here. Don't forget tomorrow. Hey, Oliver, good to see you as well. John will be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central Time. So until then, guys, stay safe, wash your hands, trade smart, trade well. I look forward to seeing you guys in the markets. Take care, everybody.